영상이 시작되기 전에 먼저 등장할 5개의 문장을 보여드릴게요. 빈칸에 들어갈 표현을 유추해보세요. 단어 하나하나를 직역하지 않고 전체 의미에 맞게 의역하고자 노력합니다. 그게 바로 영어식 사고의 출발이에요. 그럼 시작해볼까요?
That approval shifted perceptions. Beneath all these headlines, run into other top alternative cryptos like Ethereum. There could always be regulatory shifts. The underlying trajectory.
Welcome to the deep dive. So you've probably noticed quite a bit of buzz around Ethereum lately.
Definitely more than usual.
Yeah, it's not just the typical market chatter, you know? The second biggest crypto, it's been on this, undeniable upward path.
That's right.
So today we're going to take a deep dive into why. We've got a stack of articles, some research. Basically, we want to give you a shortcut to understanding what's really driving this massive trend.
And what it means, yeah.
And what it means for, the whole financial landscape as it evolves. What's behind it all?
Well, like you said, it isn't just random volatility. Crypto gets that label sometimes.
Right.
But this is different.
Okay.
What we're seeing is, I think, a fundamental re-rating of Ethereum. It's being pushed by, a powerful mix of structural changes, some big technical steps forward, and the wider economy playing its part, too.
Right.
It's actually a pretty fascinating story, the asset kind of maturing. You can unpack each piece for you.
Okay, let's do that. Let's pull back the curtain on maybe the biggest catalyst first. The U.S. spot Ethereum ETF approval.
The big one.
Yeah.
For anyone new to this, an ETF, that's an exchange-traded fund. Think of it like a basket of assets you can buy and sell easily on a normal stock exchange.
Super simple access.
Right.
Yeah.
And suddenly, this whole sometimes complex world of Ethereum, it became accessible through something really familiar, like buying regular stocks. This was huge. A massive regulatory milestone.
Approved.
Back in May 2024, right?
Correct. May. And then trading kicked off in July.
And the impact was pretty immediate.
Oh, definitely. I mean, a key takeaway here is just how fast that approval shifted perceptions and access, especially for the big institutional players.
Okay, the big money.
Yeah. Historically, large funds, we're talking pension funds, wealth managers, they kind of shied away from holding crypto directly.
Why was that?
Well, custody risks, for one, and compliance hurdles. It was just complicated, maybe too risky for their mandates.
Gotcha.
But now, with these ETFs, they can get exposure to Ethereum through their normal brokerage accounts, just like they do with, say, stocks or bonds. It fits their existing systems. Makes sense.
And we saw billions, literally billions of dollars flow into these funds very quickly within weeks. It kind of mirrored what happened with the Bitcoin ETFs earlier.
Right. We saw that pattern before.
Exactly. And it signals this powerful transition for Ethereum, moving from maybe a speculative digital token in some eyes to a legitimate, recognized asset class in mainstream finance.
But it's not just about the finance side, is it? I mean, beneath all these headlines, Ethereum has this fundamental tech backbone.
Absolutely crucial.
So for our listeners wondering, what does Ethereum actually do? What's its utility beyond just the price charts?
Great question. It's really the foundation for a whole universe of innovation. Things like decentralized finance or DeFi.
Right, building new financial services directly on the blockchain.
Exactly. Or NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which are changing digital ownership. Then there's blockchain gaming and this emerging market for tokenized real-world assets.
Making traditional assets like programmable.
Precisely. And this core utility, it's constantly being improved. You hear about layer 2 networks like Arbitrum, Optimism.
Yeah, those are supposed to make it faster and cheaper.
That's the idea. They're like express lanes for Ethereum. Makes it much faster, much cheaper to use, which is, essential if you want widespread adoption. And more activity, even on these layer 2s, actually means more Ethereum gets burned. as transaction fees, permanently removed from circulation.
No, interesting. So supply goes down.
Supply goes down.
So you've got more usefulness and less available supply.
It's a powerful combination.
Yeah.
High utility, reduced supply that creates this sort of long-term upward pressure on the price. It's fundamental.
Okay, and then there's the bigger picture, the wider economy. We can't ignore that.
No, definitely not. It all connects.
You connect crypto to the wider economy, and you see things like expectations of U.S. interest rate cuts potentially coming.
Right. Lower rates often
A
mean
little more risk appetite, yeah. Investors looking for higher returns, maybe moving into assets like crypto.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you really see how interconnected it all is. Bitcoin's own rally earlier in the year, that acted as a gateway, didn't it?
Yeah, it pulled fresh capital into the whole crypto space.
And Ethereum was a prime beneficiary of that initial wave.
Right.
What seems to be playing out now is something pretty common in bull markets. They call it an alt season.
Alt season.
Yeah, where capital kind of rotates from Bitcoin, which had its run, into other top alternative cryptos like Ethereum as investors look for that next leg of growth. It's a pattern we see.
Okay, so putting it all together, what does this actually mean for you, the listener? It looks like this powerful combo. The ETF approval was maybe the spark, the catalyst,
Yeah, trigger.
reinforced by Ethereum's really strong and evolving technology, its fundamentals, and then supported by these favorable, broader economic conditions.
A confluence of factors.
Yeah. It really underscores Ethereum's big transition, doesn't it? From maybe a niche digital asset to something becoming more like a mainstream financial instrument and increasingly accessible for everyday investors like you.
Which does raise an important sort of closing thought, or maybe a question for the future.
Okay.
While the path ahead, it'll still carry risks. There could always be regulatory shifts, market corrections are normal, new tech competition.
Sure. Nothing goes up forever in a straight line.
Right. But the underlying trajectory, it really suggests Ethereum's role in both the crypto world and in traditional finance is probably here to stay. Something to think about.
Yeah, it's certainly something to consider as you reflect on, well, this whole evolving financial landscape we're in.
영어와 시사 경제 두 마리 토끼를 한 번에 잡는 알찬 시간 되셨다면 구독과 좋아요를 꾹 눌러주세요. 감사합니다.